Crystal Lake Chamber of Commerce presents Chamber Chatter with your host, Drew Casaccio.
Live from the 21-6 studios, McHenry County. This is Chamber Chatter. I'm your host, Drew Casaccio. Also the member representative over at the Chamber of Commerce. In production today, we have Nick Kubiak. He is a marketing manager for the Crystal Lake Chamber of Commerce. Say hi, Nick.
Oh, hello, everybody. Good to be here.
Special thanks to Ken Jones and the 21-6 Creator Studios team for having us here. I'll tell you what, it's the more and more I come here, Nick, it just gets more comfortable and, reaching out and having great members come in to get interviewed and talk about what they do and how they do it. It's kind of important to me, knowing that they feel like they're getting the value out of their membership as well. And once again, this is part of that membership. So
no, absolutely. Every member has their own story. And I think being able to tell that, and, whether it's consumers or other businesses, I think it's huge.
Yeah, it's really important. All right. So our mission, Nick, is to update the for chamber events, tips and tricks of how to level up your business. My bad. And to introduce one of our members. And today we have my man John here, who is from go ahead. I'll let you introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So my name is John Hernandez, and I'm from Lightning Defense Academy. So I'm kind of a new business right in Crystal Lake, and this is just an honor to be one of your first guys here. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh yeah, John, no problem, man. I've been dying to get you in a chair here anyway, because
you mentioned to me right the first day you went in, hey, we're gonna do this, and I said, well, let's do it.
Well, and John, we're gonna tackle some of the background that you got, as well as some of the stuff in your business, and we're gonna let you plug that a little bit with how to get a hold of you and everything. But before we do that, John, we're going to talk about a little bit of a fun fact that we created here on Chamber Chatter. So the fun fact today is, did you know that Beeman and Polly Crandall from New York were the first settlers that came to the area? Nick, I didn't know if you knew that. But I'm getting all of this detail from the old interweb, the Google box, as you may.
I love that
Historical Society, right?
Yeah.
It is renamed Crystal Lake around 1840. Their area, which is now downtown Crystal Lake, was originally known as the village of Dearborn. But that was kind of interesting. The city of Crystal Lake can be traced, his origin story, back to two separate communities established in the 1800s called, is it Nunda? Nunda. Okay, well, I already butchered that. And Crystal Lake. 1835, ZBS Beardsley witnessed the lake shores and commented that the water looked clear as crystal, which gave the lake its name. So if you guys didn't know that, well,
that's interesting stuff.
I guess pretty cool. I guess now you know.
Yeah, I guess the name stuck around.
Well, it did, because it's still there.
Is it still crystal?
Yeah. Is it still like clear as crystal?
I don't think it's that clear anymore.
Yeah.
I think
it's a lot of boats.
It's a lot of boats. It's a lot of people in there in the summer. I don't think you're gonna stay that clear with that many people in there.
True. Okay, well, there is that, my friend. So introduction to my man here, John Hernandez. It is Hernandez, right?
It is. It is, yeah.
Screw up your name or anything?
No, man, it's good.
So far so good.
Good Irish name.
John, tell us a little bit about your story. First of all, tell me a little bit about your background. So you started in martial arts, is that correct?
Yeah. So started in martial arts, back in 1969. I'm probably going to age myself a little bit here, because there might be some younger people out there. Just
no judgment to that, John. Nick, say nothing.
No.
Okay.
No judgment.
Yeah, just I tried the team sport thing, and this is awesome for people to hear this. You got kids out there that maybe do the team sport thing, and they don't just really thrive in that. You may want to look at something that's an individual sport, and they happened to open up a karate school. I was living in Melrose Park at the time, and they opened up a school there, and I told my dad, sign me up. He said, we tried a million things. He didn't want to do it, right? So he finally does it. Let's make this long story short. I started in 1969. I opened up my own first karate school in 1981, and I closed one of my last karate school in 2007. I became a 4th degree black belt. I competed heavily when I was young. I was rated three times top 10 fighter in the country back in the 70s as a junior, and then I moved to Florida and
Wow.
continue competing. But yeah, so it's a great career. So parents, if you want to put your kids in martial arts, find a good school. It's good.
Yeah, I believe martial arts, the discipline of it, it's its own church for most kids, especially. The guidance.
Good instructor is the most important thing, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
So that led to what you're doing now, basically, right? So you teach, you still teach self-defense, but in a different fashion. Is that correct, John?
Yeah. Well, because I don't want to teach the art anymore. It's just it's a long process, and if you want to teach it the right way, to become a black belt, I don't think you can become a black belt in 2 years like what's happening nowadays.
Right.
It's just go out there, pay the instructor, get a next belt, pay the instructor, get the next belt. I can't teach that way. So like I told you, I taught from 81 to 2007. I have a total of 8 black belts under me, because when you're teaching the art, it's really intricate, it's really full, and you want to teach every aspect of it. And I can't water it down. So I quit teaching. Yeah.
So now, John, you have a shop here in Crystal Lake, right?
Yeah, just opened it up.
Tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Yeah, so Lightning Defense Academy. Lightning Defense Academy originated out of my house. About 5 years ago, I said, well, I want to retire. So what am I going to do when I'm retired? Because I don't want to just roll up on a couch,
Right.
So I've been around. So Lightning Defense Academy, just to kind of, let's say what it is. It's a we teach firearms classes. I teach Illinois concealed carry classes. I do private classes. I teach women's handgun classes. I teach a variety of firearms classes. And right now we are an accessory store, so we have every accessory that you could want for that venue for shooting sports. We do have our FFL, which is your federal firearms license to sell firearms. We are not selling as them yet because we're right now in the process with the state of Illinois to get our certification, which means securing the building, securing everything, make sure that the state is pleased with our process, the process we have, because contrary to belief, there's a lot of safety that goes into this. It's not just open up a gun store and you could do it. A lot of laws, a lot of things we have to abide by. So that's what we do. And right now I'm teaching and selling supplies.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys do anything outside? Excuse my ignorance to it, but do you do anything outside to make even health, safety, CPR, first response?
Yeah. So I'm a first aid instructor right now, and it's we do the CPR. And I do have the CPR dummies in there, but we go beyond that. We do the trauma. We'll teach people how to apply tourniquets, how to apply hyphen chest seals, how to clot a wound. All of that. I am a USCCA instructor, by the way, and my certification comes through them. And in case people don't know who the USCCA is, they're a twofold company. Partly, the first part is they are a teaching where they certify instructors like me. They happen to have 7,000 instructors roughly across the country. And second part, they are a self-defense company for when you do get that firearm, or if you decide to defend yourself with whatever weapon of choice, and meaning it could be a car, it could be anything. In that incident, well, you're going to need some legal help. You're going to need some money. So the USCCA has a policy that covers that. So I am certified through that company.
Wow. Yeah. Sounds like you got a little bit of everything going on there, John.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice, man. So let's talk about Crystal Lake. There's Nick, there's a lot of B2C, Crystal Lake, B2B though. What I see can work out with John too is like, hey, listen, if you have a business and an organization and you want to get your people tested or have them learn CPR, first aid, or even what happens with disgruntled employees, I'll just leave it safely like that, I guess. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
John, do you have anything that you do for that where you go to businesses?
Well, one thing that I do, and I've done it for houses of worship, let's just call it that. I do teach a class that's called Countering the Mass Shooter. ugly subject.
Yep.
It's a scary subject, but it's kind of a reality nowadays. How to fortify your thing, how to set up a plan to work through those situations. So that's something I've worked with churches, and I've gone in there and helped them set up the security groups and
Wow.
things like that. So yeah, just we have a wide variety of things. One thing that I'm introducing now, and I'm doing it first with my concealed carry instructors, because you asked me what I do with martial arts. I just March 10th, I have a woman's self-defense class going on, and I'm trying to keep it really inexpensive. So this one, don't hold me to this. I'm charging $10 per person.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When we're starting, when is that?
It's not open to the public right now.
Okay.
So it's
You
it's
can
gonna
get a
be
hold of
March 10th.
John.
I said women's Nick, So it's a 2-hour class, and I want to do it in 4 steps, because I'm going to be taking people that absolutely have no martial arts experience.
Yep.
Possibly have never done anything defensively in their life.
Very timid, very shy.
Yeah. So the first class, what I just want to basically work is how to move, how to evade, how to step, how to step in, how to step out, angles that you use. Then I'll work in the hand blocking and stuff like that. And that's 2 hours of that. Then the next class would be how to counter, how to move. Now add the blocks, add the counters. The third class, and this will be a little bit more difficult, possibly how to kick and how to take down an opponent, how to take them to the ground. And the fourth class would be more situational self-defense, defense against somebody coming to grab you, somebody grabbing you with one hand, somebody grabbing you with 2 hands. So as you can see, it's a process. So we're basically talking an 8-hour course to be a very basic self-defense course to give somebody an idea how to defend themselves, and if from there they want to move forward.
Yeah, because it's a couple moves at a time that gives you the confidence once you learn something. And then, I remember when I was a kid, I was in martial arts as well. But I remember before I was in martial arts, like a friend down the street taught me this move, right? And I had to I need to use this.
Yeah.
How do I use it? So you're always waiting for that situation, right? When you get in that, coming from the south side of Chicago, you're waiting for that one kid to come up to you, like, come on, do it. I dare you. Yeah. Like, I got to use this move. Never used the damn move, John.
Yeah.
But that's what you want. You want to know that you have it and not need it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then need it and not have it.
Absolutely. But people need to understand, whether it be martial arts or whether it be firearms, or whether you're a runner or you're a wrestler, it's all about muscle memory, and it's all about working those neural pathways into your brain that make you understand that when and I don't want to get deep into this, your higher brain kicks out and your lower brain is what's working in a defensive situation.
If A, then B, then C.
You have to be able to have worked this so many times that it just becomes instinct.
It's natural.
What's that saying? The FBI says it takes 10,000 hours to
master
something. Yeah. The old karate master said, like a form, you have to do it 1,000,000 times to master it. So that's, they had the basics
truth
right.
For that.
Yeah. You just can't get out there, go to this class for 2 hours and say, oh, good, man, I'm waiting for them to come and attack me now. It's not going to work.
No. And you never want to be attacked, or you never want to have to use your gun. You never want to have to, these are all the things that most people, they see it. And, my first conversation with John was awesome, because I went to a shop, we had a conversation, and he's like, you know what? There's people that come to my class, and by the time they're done with the class, they're like, I'm selling my firearm. I don't even want it anymore. And it's because they didn't realize that what goes along with that, the responsibility, accountability. There's a lot that goes with it.
Yeah, I tell people, once you get involved, this is a great sport. I got into this, in my teens, hunting and stuff like that, and it just became a passion. And I got my first handgun at 21, because that's the legal age. I still have it, by the way. And so, I've been shooting and doing things, and I brought my kids and taught my kids. We all hunt together. My boys, my son-in-law, we all go hunt together and stuff, and it's a great time. It's a great time when we go to the range. It's just a fabulous time. But you got to constantly do it.
You got to stay on top of your game.
You got to stay on top of your game. It's not a matter of just doing it one time. And I tell people that all the time. I tell people, you mentioned something, and just to go back to that, I don't want to lose it. Once you have a firearm, you are held to a higher standard.
Absolutely.
Whatever law you can break, having that firearm on you just makes you that higher of a standard that
Of course.
you're going to be looked at differently, so it's very important.
Man.
And like you said, you walked in, you told me some people walk into the store and they want to sign up for the class and they think they'll be doing gunfights in the street.
Yeah, right.
and that's the last thing that we teach. I mean, we teach that the firearm is the last thing, and number one thing is safety. And the most important thing as a civilian with a firearm, our main duty is to avoid and retreat.
Correct.
As opposed to military and police that have a different objective. But as a civilian, our duty is to retreat.
Yeah, you told me that. I think you mentioned it in a different light. It was really cool.
I didn't want to
It
get
was
into it, but
when you're police, you're taught to
more detain, apprehend, take the custody. Military is possibly capture, move forward, gain ground, but a civilian is totally the opposite. We want to move away from it. We want to avoid it,
Right.
A lot of people decide they take this class, they learn the fundamentals, they learn the safeties. We go over the laws, what it takes, if you're involved in a situation. A lot of people just end up keeping their firearm at home for home defense.
Yep.
100%.
Because that is probably the place that you're most vulnerable, believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My wife's like, don't even take the class because you're not carrying it anywhere. You just no matter what, no matter who teaches you anything, you're just that guy.
Don't have to.
Right.
Don't have to carry.
I don't for the most part. They're all at home, and when we go hunting or whatever, that's what we utilize.
Yeah, don't have to carry, man. But you need to know the laws, even if we're not going to get into this. That'd be a whole program.
Yeah.
You need to know the laws and what you can do, even if they break in your house.
Yeah.
You need to know.
Real quick, let me throw that at you real quick. Quick scenario, right? So someone breaks in your house. You have the right to defend. Right?
Okay.
Oh,
that's what you
said.
said.
That was a question. That wasn't a statement. That was a question. Do you have the right to defend?
How do you get in?
Let's say he kicked the front door open.
Okay. Well, now you're talking a felonious entry. Yeah. Do you go down and look for them, or do you barricade yourself in a safe place and start giving warnings out and tell them to get out of the house? That's what we try to tell you to do. We don't want you to go down. Like I put it in my
just popping off rounds.
My terminology is in classes. We don't go looking for things that thump in the night.
Correct. Yeah.
We find a safe place. We secure that safe place. The first thing we do is call 911. Get the police involved in it. They got their job to do. My safe place, I live in a 2-story, would be upstairs with my family, my boys. I live with 2 boys, and that's what I'm going to protect.
Yep.
Okay. The only thing I'm trying to protect is life. Because as I explained,
materials don't.
I explained to people in class, what is downstairs, okay, that's worth dying over, okay, worth killing over? Nothing. So if you go downstairs into a self-defense incident in the middle of the night and you end up doing something like that, I don't really think that's self-defense. That becomes stuff defense.
Yeah. Well put.
Yeah.
Well done.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So I'm only staying upstairs wanting to stop a threat that comes towards me and my family. Downstairs, he can have it all.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I'll tell him there's a dolly in the garage if he wants it for free.
Load it up.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Nick?
No, I just think I think that's a very important point of view to
it
have
is.
for a self-defense class.
Yeah.
Where you're not necessarily just defending yourself, you're defending everyone that is potentially.
Well, you have people under the mantle of your protection.
Exactly.
And that's a whole, we can start throwing balls of yarn out here.
Yeah.
They're going to roll and roll and
Sure.
roll and roll. So I get this question a lot. People come into the class, they want to be the Good Samaritan.
Right.
They usually want to be the Good Samaritan when they come into the class, and they're willing to defend everybody and anybody. And I tell them, well, you may change your mind by the time this class is over.
Yeah.
You're going to have what the law calls people under their mantle of protection, and you need to determine who that is. And that's going to be my children, my grandchildren, family members, and maybe a group of friends that I can count on.
Sure.
And that's going to be about it, because my main responsibility is to make it home safe at night, and the police have their job to do.
John, you're awesome. I think if anybody out there, this is all good stuff to know. this is a touchy subject for a lot of people. Guns,
It is, man.
right?
It is.
So
It is.
you're either for it or you're against it. Either way,
Yeah.
defending yourself if you need to is important. Or even knowing how to get away properly is important. John's the guy you need to talk to. John, he's been doing this for a long time. Obviously, you heard his story. John, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, we're right there on Virginia Street. If you want me, I can give the address.
Let's start with that.
We're at 370 West Virginia Street. Easy markers as we're right across. Plug them. There we go. Maybe get a sandwich out of them today.
There you go.
Right across the street from Tommy's.
Oh, Tommy's is great. Two
Yeah,
sandwiches,
Tommy's.
please.
And I am one of the reasons I picked where I'm at is that because I am smack dab in the middle of two businesses which I feel are staples in this town. And one is Trade Ones. I don't know. Trade One's probably been there like 40 years.
What is Trade Ones?
I think about 35 years.
There you
35
go.
years?
I think
There
so.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're they sell all the skateboarding stuff. They sell
Oh,
these what do you
yeah,
call
them,
those sandals, the Birkenstocks or something like that.
Yep.
So they get a constant traffic in there. And then I'm right next to Blue Magic Tattoo,
Right.
which has probably been there 20 years. So I'm the new kid on the block, but I said, man, if these people have been there, this is great because they're going to be bringing people in here.
Yeah, both good neighbors, man.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. I mean, that's where I picked, and that's where I'm at. And other than that, I mean, nowadays your front door is your website. And I'll say it slow. It's www.ldaonlinestore.com. That's our website, and we got our classes there, and we have some of our inventory on there, but our main goal for our first year in business is building the classes up.
Mhm.
The store is a secondary thing right now, and the online store is probably third. It just takes a lot of work. And
John, does your website have like the times and schedules for the
absolutely
classes?
we schedule ourselves
Okay.
three months out at a time.
There's a contact us form on there as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm sure that when you get this blast with the video, Nick Kubiak over there is probably going to go ahead and throw a link out there to your website as
Yeah.
well. That way you can just click on it.
Mhm.
So once you watch this awesome video back on out, click that link. Go ahead and talk to John. The classes. John, thanks for coming today, man. We do appreciate your time. I want to say,
I hope this was interesting for your audience, and
oh, it's fantastic.
and I respect everybody's feelings on firearms.
Sure.
I mean, I really do.
Yeah, so do I. Everybody has the right to that opinion, man.
But, what I always welcome is people that don't know about them. If you want to ask me some questions or stuff, I've had a lot of housewives that have never ever picked up a firearm in their life, and they just love it.
Yeah,
they love it. And women, you shoot better than men.
it's a true statement.
That's fair. I can imagine with no firearm training.
I'm going to say that's
probably
totally
would be
true
great.
because when I get home, I wanna get-
ladies, if
I
you
wanna
want to
kill.
show if you want to show your boys up, take up firearms.
you're the man, John.
That's the sales pitch.
Coming up in community. So we got what? Community cleanup coming up?
We sure do.
What Nick, this is all on you, man. What are we hitting with that? Community cleanup. What date?
Oh, that's April 22nd. We are having that on Earth Day this year, which is super exciting.
Okay.
So I believe it's 8:30 to 1 o'clock is the total event. We'll have a recycling truck. We're going to have a prescription drug take back with the CLPD.
Nice.
And we definitely encourage everyone to volunteer, help clean up some of the parks in the area. Last year, we had a great turnout. I can't think of the number off the top of my head, but we had a great turnout last year. April 22nd, Saturday.
April 22nd. Are there any sponsorships open left for that or no?
I'm
Not
not
sure.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. Go to clchamber.com. That's clchamber.com. Go ahead, hit the old calendar on there and check out the events that are coming up. And don't forget, 'cause we're coming into the spring and summer months, and the sponsorships for some of the big events go soon. And I know they're starting to get sold out now. That's about right. We sold like a couple the other day.
Correct.
So, even with the golf outing or the parade, and the parade too, if you want a spot, make sure you give a call out or a shout out to Chris Parkin at the Chamber of Commerce. She's our outreach and events management specialist, correct? So she'll be the one that will get you all set up with that as well. If you have any questions on sponsorships, you can always reach out to me. That's at clchamber.com. Just reach out to membership and or to Nick on the marketing side of things, and we can also help you out with that.
Absolutely.
Just the same.
Yeah. And anytime, give us a call, 815-459-1300.
Yep.
And then it'll bring you to a directory. You can talk to whoever you want.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Nick.
No problem.
John, thanks for your time once again,
It
sir.
was a great
Appreciate
time,
you
man.
having here.
Don't forget, you got to pick up that hoodie by the store.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you see me coming to your store to come visit you with a jar of candy, and I'm in a hoodie with blazing 2 firearms on it, I'm sponsoring my guy here for that. So, hey, till next time, folks. You have reached Chamber Chatter. This is Drew Casaccio, your humble representative here at Chamber of Commerce. Nick Kubiak on the marketing. My man John, who's going to teach you to either don't do it or do it correctly. That's what we do here. Chamber Chatter. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys.